Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
You love podcasts, the stories, the laughs, the unexpected turns. But when this episode ends, the silence starts. Not anymore. Audiobooks.com turns that silence into your next great adventure. With over 450,000 titles, from bestsellers to hidden gems, your love for listening just found its new best friend. And because you already know the joy of audio, we're giving you 3 free audiobooks to start your journey. Imagine your favorite podcast, now with unlimited episodes. That's audiobooks.com. Keep the story going. Sign up for your free trial at audiobooks.com/podcastfree today. Because for podcast lovers like you, the end of an episode is just the beginning. That's audiobooks.com/podcastfree.
And now, Hangar 56 Media presents Spike's Car Radio, a downloadable cars and coffee, hosted by writer, comedian, and automotive enthusiast Spike Ferriston. Now, here's Spike.
It's Spike's Car Radio. That's right. That's the applause button. We're here recording with the new Zoom PodTrack P8, and it's got a bunch of little buttons here. I have so much control. It should already sound different and crisp to you on this beautiful Wednesday. Zuckerman is here. Jonny Lieberman is here. Go ahead, talk so we can hear you.
Hello. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Seldom Right But Never in Doubt, starring...
See, I can just mute Zuckerman now when he goes off on a tangent I don't want to hear. I just turned him off. He has no microphone now.
Am I back?
You're back now. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, but you wanted me to do that.
I did. But I'm just demonstrating my capabilities. The downside for me is I've got these headphones on, which I feel a little disconnected from you guys.
You look ridiculous.
I think we all need headphones as a solution.
I can do that. Yeah. I have all of these outputs, but I don't have a Hangar 56. This is the first round of equipment they bought.
Yeah.
And now, what do you think? You want to wear headphones? Would you wear headphones, Zuckerman?
I don't care.
I mean, I used to manage a radio station, and everyone on air needs to have headphones.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
I'll get you guys some headphones. Yes. You know, we have, I'm trying to think, we had a company that was sending us headphones.
Those are those ear things.
No, there was another one. There was, they're Harman Kardon.
That's a good company.
Harman Kardon.
It's
also a good company.
Are they the Volvo company?
Well, they make every new car here has a Harman system, whether or not it says so.
It wasn't Bang & Olufsen. It was Harman Kardon. Yeah. I'm fairly certain. And they said
literally the Burmeister. That's Harman Kardon. Like they make everything. Yeah,
so they have different names to fool us, right?
Like Brembo actually makes basically every brake there is on a European car is actually a
Why don't
Brembo.
we make our own headphones called meats? And they're made out of meats, so they look like lamb chops on the side of your head.
See, now when you make a bad joke, I just played a sound effect, the sad trombone. I'm gonna reload all of these with better ones. These are just the ones
fantastic.
that came in. But we're gonna do the Zuckerman. We're working on all of the Zuckerman stuff. Jack is gonna work on that. And then I have to figure out how to load these things. Right now I have, I should say that. Our show today is sponsored by DraftKings, Every Plate, Policy Genius, and Blue Chew.
Yeah. Sweaty and ready with Blue Chew.
Yeah, and I have a little drum kick right now. Those are really corny sound effects to play, but we're going to put some real stuff in there. I think some Almond Brothers cues. And anyway, how are you guys? It's good to be here chatting with you. Now that we're the #1 podcast in many countries except the United States.
Hey man, India. That's 1.5 billion people.
Right. And this all started on a Saturday night, right? With
Plucker.
Yeah, Jeff Glucker was posting, and I spoke about this a little yesterday on the Smoking Tire, so if you heard me there, forgive me. But he has started a podcast, and he was excited to get his ratings, and he had this service, and I realized, geez, we've been doing this for 4 years. I don't have a rating service.
By the way, his podcast is a decade old. It's the Hooniverse podcast.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, so that was it. Yeah. Well, we're fans. We love Jeff Glucker.
Of course.
So, watching the baseball games, between innings, I signed up and found out in the last 30-day ratings, you remember how we were number 1 in 4 countries? Now we're number 1 in about 10 countries. New Zealand, Lebanon, United Arab Emirates, Croatia, Slovenia, Malta, India, Qatar, Iceland, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Greece, Norway, Bahrain, and Guatemala, I already said. And then not so bad number 2s, like from South Africa to Sweden and the rest of it, and Ireland, where I am a citizen.
I have some trouble.
What do you think about this list?
Okay, I have trouble believing it because I'm skeptical. I've always felt 3 people listen to this, and they DM us.
Two of them are here.
Right. So what I
Grip
want...
that mic tight because we can hear your thinging.
My claws.
Yeah,
what I want is people from these countries where we're number 1.
Yes.
Slovenia, Qatar, other places to message us. DM at Zuckerman or Spike Ferriston and say, yes, indeed, we are in these countries and we're listening. Lieberman, too. But I want to know.
Yes.
I want to hear from somebody in these countries confirming this.
I think you're right. Some of it, I think, can be explained by the Car Matchmaker syndication, which I get a report quarterly. And that show is around the world in a lot of those countries. It does not, to me, either, Zuckerman, add up to actual listens to this podcast. So
if I can offer a counter, when I went to Bahrain, it was like I was an actual celebrity. Like, could not walk across a room without 3 guys grabbing me and being like, "Oh, I love you. I love your videos." Da 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 da. Like it was the craziest thing of my life. Like it was,
in Bahrain.
But this is a room with 20 people that are all car people. So
it's a country that's all car people.
How many people are in that country?
I don't know. Not many, but they're all car people. At least the ones that speak English.
I don't understand how someone from Slovenia is going to understand what we're saying.
Well, everybody speaks English.
Well, there's a lot of Porsche folks there.
Everyone speaks English, but
in fact, I got some DMs from Slovenia last night, weirdly, from a friend of mine who's there, and there's a thriving Porsche community.
But we speak in it.
But India is I understand, but let's talk about where we're not doing well and see how we can do better there. And some of it I don't care about, like the French.
Oh, come on.
We're number 9 in France.
Well, look, the French don't speak English. That's pretty good.
We're number 9 in the United Kingdom.
Okay, that sucks.
That's strange.
Yeah,
you would think that
them.
those guys would like us.
Dicks.
They're a bunch of, they eat too much, they drink too much, and they like to be funny. That would seem to be the right milieu for us.
And they also want to get whipped by their school teachers and get clothespins on their nipples. And
Oof.
Well, there are 4 countries that were number 9: Denmark, France, Malaysia, and United Kingdom. I think we should focus on one.
Yeah, the UK.
Denmark. Well, you like their butter?
I do. It's great butter. But no, UK, that's a big English-speaking country.
Yeah, I mean, that's the home of Top Gear. We've got Chris Harris there. Maybe that's why. They've got very popular automotive guys there who aren't as half-assed as us.
There's that. And also, like, the Brits like the British take on cars because they drive differently than we do.
Saloons in the States
what is
and
that?
whatnot. Yes.
Is that what that means? What's a British take on a car?
I don't just always rooting for the home team. Like
exactly.
I don't particularly pull for. I mean, I want Corvette to be the best sports car it can be.
Yeah, just don't tap your finger on that. It's very sensitive.
That's really sensitive.
Yeah, it's super sensitive. You got to grip it and pretend you're the mic stand.
Right.
I'll get us mic stands for the next one.
But I'm not. If a German car is better than an American car, I'm going to say the German car is better. I'm never going to pull a punch to protect the flag. Whereas I feel, having read a lot and consumed a lot of British automotive media, they kind of do that.
They always throw in something weird.
This is how
Bristol or some other home
is this how we're getting
that shouldn't exist.
This is how we're getting them back.
Now we're 10.
You're trashing them.
We're number 11.
I'm a Range Rover fan. I like Land Rovers.
I love British cars.
Yeah.
I love
What's that? I have a Triumph Bonneville.
I've spent over a year of my life in England. I love the country, but yeah, it's going to be a
I
hard
love
nut to
London.
crack.
When I was there, I felt like they needed to import ventilation.
That's
the
Germany.
concept of ventilation.
Air conditioning.
That's
air conditioning.
Germany. That's Germany.
And my sister lives in London. So I know we have one kind of listener there.
I hope she doesn't.
Okay, and to my English or British listeners, I would like nothing better than an early XJ, particularly an XJC, a two-door X in a great color, a great interior. There's something about that car. Please find
I'm playing
me one.
sad trombone right now. Okay, here we go.
Bwah, bwah. Is that sad trombone? Bwah, bwah, bwah. Is that the one? Yeah.
Remember you said you should load that up? It was preloaded.
Fantastic.
They're sent to everybody. But we'll find a better one. I think we need some festive cues, like some mariachi, I think would be nice. Some give me the monies, some out of context Zuckerman. Will, our producer, is already working on those. He's pulling them from previous shows. Maybe all of us going, Blue Chew.
Swiggins.
Swiggins, let me do an ad. We got lots of racing fans. DraftKings Sportsbook has a formula racing no-brainer that's bound to put you in a victory lane. New customers at DraftKings can bet $1 on this Sunday's Grand Prix in Austin, Texas, and win $100 in free bets. If any driver finishes a lap when the last race you saw where all 20 drivers didn't loop the track at least once, what does that mean? Did I read that with completely bad grammar?
I think it means like circle the track, not loop. Loop is like a spin out. I think it means if they... I'm not sure.
It's saying $100 in free bets if any driver finishes a lap.
Okay, that's pretty good. I mean,
$100.
that's good.
If Sportsbook isn't available in
Free
your
money.
state yet, you can get it in on the action at DraftKings. Free-to-play pools. All customers get a free shot at $5,000 in total prizes. Just answer a handful of questions about what you think will happen during the race and follow along and track your results. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code SPIKE911. Bet $1 on this Sunday's Formula Racing Grand Prix and win $100 in free bets if any driver finishes a lap.
I mean, that sounds like they're going to get $100 to everyone who bets $1.
That's promo code SPIKE911 for this no-brainer at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. New Jersey, IN, is that Indiana, and Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit for free bet. This is where you're supposed to read that thing for one per customer. Restricted supply. See DraftKings.com/sports. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. I don't think my dad ever called 1-800-GAMBLER. He dialed 1-800. I'm going to keep gambling. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to COTA the day before the race to drive the Pagani Huayra R, which is the Huayra with the Zonda R motor, and then I leave before the race. It's going to be awesome.
I just gave you a sad trombone.
Why is that a sad trombone?
Hey, you should take your hand. You're mocking us, Ferriston, and I may jump across the table and strangle you. You're not mocking
I
with
am
that button.
so happy that I have more control like this.
I
This
am
is
going
the
to bring
greatest.
my own little noise thing. I have a noise.
I could hook up
maker.
another. If you want to order one of these, I could hook you one up,
Well,
and then
I
you could
need
hit
to have-
buttons.
We'll have dueling soundboards.
Yeah, we'll never say a word. We'll just go. We'll just go. Wah, wah.
This is. May I remind you? This is Spike's car radio, not Zuckerman's car radio.
Yeah, but I'm
seizing control like the Nazis.
Nazi. You are a Nazi.
Anyways,
All right,
Huayra
here
R,
let's talk about some news here because I thought this was interesting and it plays into what Jonny Lieberman drove today. The German automakers, they're talking about Porsche. Electric Taycan model is outselling the 911 and the Tesla Model S. Porsche's
Holy
first
shit.
electric cars outperforming Tesla. Let's
Wow.
see. The model line has outsold the Tesla Model S and X by a better than 2-to-1 margin through the first 3 quarters of 2021, which saw the brand's overall sales rise 13%. Porsche delivered 28,000 plus Taycans, which are offered as a sedan and a wagon globally, compared to 13,185 Tesla Model S sedans and Model X SUVs, which are bundled together in Tesla's report.
Can I?
What do you guys think of that?
Well, it's
Stunning.
no, not really, because
And the 911.
they're leaving out the fact that in 2020 Tesla sold 206,000 Model 3s, And the next closest in the U.S. only, and the next closest premium car was the Lexus RX, which was like just over 100,000.
Well, they were putting the Model Y out. That's what they were doing.
Well, but
they had stopped production on the Model
But
X.
that's not even counting the Model Y. Yeah, the Model X wasn't in production. The Model S is also 9 years old. Sorry.
Just keep it down.
Don't have that so close to your mouth.
It sounds like
Anyways, so yes, the Model S and X, but like asterisk that like crazy. Like there was
but look,
no availability.
Let's set that aside.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with you there. I think you're right. That's they're hyping the stats
Question
and not giving the whole story. It outsold the 911.
But is that partially because they can't make enough 911s right now? What is no?
Well, I would say it's because you're comparing a 2-door, basically 2-seat car to a 4-door or 5-door sedan wagon. So lots more people have a use for a 4-door than they do for a 2-door sports car.
I'm just wondering what the real number of sales would be if we didn't have this chip nonsense going on.
That's fair.
Well, one of the reasons that Tesla is surging right now, the stock is surging, Zuckerman.
Did you get another dividend?
It's because...
Look at his green little face. You should put a ka-ching. Do you have ka-ching on that?
I did not, but I was thinking about it. I know there's one coming.
Yeah.
That somehow Musk has access to microchips more than the other manufacturers, and today that stock just surged.
I don't know how that's true, but that stock surges for all
Well,
kinds
that's
of
a
crazy
verified
reasons.
story in the newspapers. That's
has
true.
more chips?
That's why his stock
I have
stock
all
is
the
surging.
chips.
Has the chips.
It's like the poker table up.
and that's why it's going. But it's kind of scary, though. I mean, you know, we've talked about this, and I won't belabor the point, but the excitement is in electric and in Porsche. You just see it. It's just going to happen, whether you like it or not, Zuckerman, or anybody else does. The Taycan is now outselling the 911.
You know what the sexiest job of 2021 is? Supply chain management. A non-thought of, imagine if you were somewhere important in the supply chain. You had things, right? You had chips.
I got a container,
I know
baby.
a guy.
Yeah.
I know a guy in the supply chain. Suddenly, something we never thought about is so important.
Wow, your voice sounds so good right now.
Really?
He's still putting it into his beard, and I'm having to calm him down.
Please don't put your beard on that mic. Because
I'm going to name these.
Yeah,
I will.
Mics, 'cause I don't
you have like 70% of a beard. Like there's nothing.
I have some.
I know, but see, I
bristle.
gave him the note once, and see how he's got it down by his stomach there. These mics.
I got to be down here.
It's all my fault, Johnny. I will get you headphones, and you'll hear that as you do this.
I have a boomy voice too.
No. This. Will sent me these new mics. They are ultra sensitive.
Too sensitive.
I know. We have to get
spit guards and.
I have those. The windscreens are for outside, but this is more. But we need a stand because you can't touch these things anymore. But you guys sound so crisp. And so, like yourselves,
Apple-like, crisp,
it's delightful.
like an apple.
Yeah, I like it. It's great. It's hopefully what I'm hearing here then moves on.
If
to
you
the
hit
show.
record,
Huh?
If you figured out how to hit record,
There's a very good chance that I don't know what I'm doing with all of this. But, I went to school for this stuff. Berklee College of Music, sound recording, and music recording and engineering. And I found, delightfully, I was up last night worried about this show because this is the first time I've used this board and all 8 tracks. When I got up early this morning to play with it because I couldn't sleep, I was having so much fun. Everything was so intuitive and easy. This isn't an ad for Zoom, but boy, if you have a podcast, this Zoom PodTrack stuff, the P4, the P8, they are outstanding. They're intuitive. They're easy to use. Fantastic. What else do you need?
Money.
Money. I'll tell you what you
Tesla
need.
stock.
You need Blue Chew. That's right. They're still with us. We're doing good, gentlemen. Fall is here, and we could all use a stiff breeze. That's right.
We have to keep saying that, though.
I said it. You didn't say it.
I don't like hearing it.
Guys, confidence can take you far in life. It can also help you in the bedroom, especially when it comes time to step up to the plate. Ooh, baseball. You see what? It's a baseball analogy. That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablet form at a fraction of a cost. You can take them anytime, day or night. Take them while you're sleeping. so you can plan ahead. Honey, what are you chewing on? How's your steak? Nothing. That's my Blue Chew. Whenever the opportunity arises, the process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult one of their licensed medical providers. And what that means, because I've done this, is a hot girl comes on the screen and flirts with you. And once you're approved by this hot girl doctor, who you just want to stay online with, she's her own form of Blue Chew, you'll receive your prescription within days. And it's true. The best part, it's all done online, so no doctor's visits, no doctor's office, no awkward conversations. It was a pleasant conversation, actually, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA at the Necco Wafer Factory. No, that's not true. And prepared and shipped directly to your door in a discreet packet. Necco Wafers, New England. You remember those guys?
They still have them.
They do.
The Malibu Kitchen sells them.
They used to.
Not anymore?
No, all of that hand candy is supply chained out. They can't get anything.
It's been replaced by Blue Chew.
Yes, get your Blue Chew.
Should we fill those little canisters full of Blue Chew for the children?
Yes.
Okay, quiet, don't. Let's not riff. We'll get ourselves into trouble. All right, here's all you have to do, guys. If you want to try Blue Chew for free, that's right. Try this Blue Chew for free. All you have to do is use our promo code SPIKE911 at checkout. You just pay for the shipping, which is $5. So you go to BlueChew.com, you sign up for your free sample, use the promo code SPIKE911, you get your first month free. It's just $5 for shipping. I don't even think I paid $5. It just came. I couldn't stop it. BlueChew.com. Thank you for sticking with us.
They do need flavors, Spike.
A Blue Chew flavor?
They need a flavor better than the flavor they got.
Yeah, you're right. They could have root beer. What other flavors would we suggest?
Whatever the kids like. Strawberry lemonade.
Boner flavor.
Butterscotch.
Scotch flavor.
Yeah.
Why?
Know your demo.
But then wouldn't you maybe eat them like candy all the time? And
Okay, the one I had, and maybe it's just me, but it tasted like...
Yeah? Like what? Like a sweet tart, right?
I was
it was
hoping
a little
for
sweet.
something more flavorful.
Right,
What if
right.
it was like one of those burst candies?
Well, in a sense.
It is like a burst candy.
Nicotine flavor.
Blue Chew, thank you. All right, it's time for What's Johnny Driving?
Forget about the Taycan. Get the Audi version. This is the RS e-tron GT. It's the same platform as the Taycan. I am so freaking in love with this thing. It is... the Lucid might drive as well, or maybe a touch better, but I need more time with it. But this thing is such a good car. Needs a bigger battery, but it's gorgeous. People have been coming up like, "What is that?" It's just, I don't know. This is the one. This is the first super desirable EV that I've driven.
And which one is it? I'm so confused by what they're putting out. The
their
Audi
names are
e-tron
terrible.
GT?
This is the one that they brought to the illicit car show.
Okay.
They roped it off.
Yep.
We had the world debut of it.
This is what shut down
This
our
is
car
what
show.
got us shut down. And
Yes.
it was worth it, it turns out. It's so good. It's called, so the e-tron GT is the car. This is the RS version, so 637 horsepower version. First EV that I've just loved driving. I don't even care that it's an EV. It's just like, it's so, you put in dynamic and it's just, the steering's dialed in. It's the first Audi I've ever driven that doesn't understeer, that isn't an R8. You blink and you're going 80 miles an hour. I was seeing like over 130 up in the canyons. The thing is just, it's insane. I'm in love.
130.
Just the microphone.
canyons?
Yes, over.
You're just making a lot of mic noise.
Look, this is.
Yeah, but when you wiggle the cord like that, it's making a lot
I'm just so excited by the Audi.
But I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, please.
I have
ask.
lots of
Please
questions.
ask. Yeah.
You know, the basic
real
stuff.
quick, one downside, needs a bigger battery.
Okay, so well, that was the first question.
Yeah.
You charge it up overnight.
Yeah.
And then what do you have in the morning ready to go?
The best you'll see is like 258. EPA says 230. The way I drive, half. You know.
So, and you know how they don't let you or suggest you don't charge the battery 100%. So you get this range. Like I have the Tesla Model Y today, and it can go to 330. But they say Only charge it to 80%. Is that the same here? So what number is that?
No one told me anything, and I just did a road trip, so I did 100%.
You do 100%, right?
I did, but I, most of the time, honestly, I was doing 80% just because I don't have a charger at my house. So on the Electrify America fast charger, it'll go from like 20% to 80% in 12 minutes because it is an 800 volt electrical system, so double what the Tesla is. So that's just basically like the pipe that takes the electricity in is twice as fat.
Right.
It charges faster than a Tesla does, given the same kilowatts. But
where is that charging network?
This one's a mile from my house. It's next to the Ralph's. This morning before I got here, dropped the kid off, went to Ralph's, did shopping, came out. It was at I parked it at 38%. It came out. It was 82%.
And how long?
It's just a shopping trip. $150 worth of groceries.
Well, that's about the same as the Tesla, though.
Yeah.
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 So how is it faster? Is it faster when it's at home?
Well, that was on 150 kilowatts, so it would probably be double if there was a 400 volt car charging on it. Because this is 800, it'll be twice as quick.
Right.
So
right.
This is a theory. I wasn't comparing them. If we could take your car and this car and charge them next to each other, but it charges quick.
It's not about that. It's about this charging network, this support. When you want to do a trip.
Tesla. Yeah, I did. I drove to Morro Bay and back. I was charging a lot. But it was doable. I never ran out or anything, or never came close to running out. I think I got in to Pismo with like 11% left. And part of that was because the Audi said that there was chargers in Morro Bay, and at like 8 at night, with a screaming 4-year-old, I tried to find them, and both of them weren't actually there. So I had to charge in the morning, and I got there with 11%, but it was fine.
Did Richard charge his underwear?
No, he was only at your house.
I love your kid.
He's a great kid. Something about your house just brings shit
I know,
out of
and I want
we haven't been together since that. No, I guess we haven't.
We haven't, and your wife got mad about this, but I think that Richard is a hero, and he's such a likable kid, and that was so much fun for everybody.
The best part, though, the next day he was like, Zuckerman.
Okay, here's what you need him to train him to do this. You say, "Who's the man?" Zuckerman. Oh. Okay, that's what I want to hear out of that kid. And then we can put that as a sound cue.
Who's the man? Zuckerman?
Yes.
Probably won't be that.
I can do it.
I'll teach him to say something else about Zuckerman.
It should all be glorifying Zuckerman. Is that what you want, Zuckerman?
I think it'll be like, Zuckerman, fuck your rug.
How about just the sound of him pooping on the carpet? That would be pretty good.
Oh, you have that sound?
He was... All right. Anyways, the Audi, very nice EV.
That was fantastic. It was a fantastic show. I don't think I've been so entertained in,
I've never
in
seen
years of doing shows.
I've actually never seen you with more joy.
Because I know, the one thing I kind of know is the comedic potential of things.
Yes.
And I just knew we had the ingredients for a delicious cake when Zuckerman was like, he cares about his house, and we're bringing a 4-year-old that none of us are watching, and then you hand him a plate of jelly and go,
be careful.
Be careful with that.
But what the audience didn't see was the way we were sitting was Spike could see the kid.
Yeah,
I'm looking at LA. Zuckerman's back's to it. So when Richard walked up with no pants, your eyes lit up.
I was so happy.
As if the Blue Chew doctor was bottomless. And your face, Zuckerman, was just sheer unadulterated terror when Spike's like, he's got no pants on.
My wife was just like, what is wrong with you guys? Why not hire a babysitter? What do you mean you gave him jelly and put him in front of a TV? Of course.
Eat this with your hand.
It never works when we bring family.
Bill criticized us. Bill of the Malibu Kitchen said you sounded like a bunch of frat boys.
He says that a lot. He says that a lot about us. Yeah,
I know. What frat are we in?
I don't know.
The worst frat.
We try to be as honest about our experiences as we can with our audience, and we like that, right? And sometimes if you're telling your audience what's happening right at this moment.
Hey, look, tell Bill who's number one in Malta, not Bill.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Not Bill.
Yeah, we love Bill. I didn't get out to the Malibu Kitchen this weekend.
Neither did I.
But I heard the lot opened up earlier at 10 o'clock. We're going to be out there. Jay said he was going to be out there this Sunday, so we'll be out there around 10 o'clock again. I don't know what I'll have.
Nice.
Zuckerman, I've been driving your white GT2 RS,
What do you
which
think?
is spectacular, and it kind of leads into this conversation I wanted to have about these cars. The car is incredible.
What about the brakes?
The brakes are the brakes, right? They squeak depending on their
Atmospherics?
I think the atmospherics, yeah. If there's a lot of water in the air or not, they squeak more or less, and I don't know.
They need their carbon. They need heat. You
But listen to
get
this.
Get on them.
Here's a story, gentlemen, and you'll understand why the GT2 RS plays into this. Financially, right now, folks, your car is behaving more like your home, bringing new opportunities and hard-to-foresee risks. This was in the newspaper, I think in the Wall Street Journal today. Used vehicle prices have broken records in the last 12 months, with inflation running at an unprecedented 24%, according to official data. This is painful for car buyers, but there is a less discussed flip side. It's a great time if you own cars like the GT2 RS Zuckerman. The biggest risk in the situation currently is simply uncertainty. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody has experienced a car market like this ever. Can you believe that? What unexpected outcome it leads to, no one knows. Rising asset prices have a way of appearing mainly to create winners. Losers tend to crop up further and down the road. How about that? So, when we sold the Chalk GT2 RS, what did we sell that for? $290? Didn't we just offload it to Dean?
And I think we left $100,000 on the table.
Well, we didn't leave $100,000 on the
Not
table.
at that point.
That was the market.
And
yeah.
now?
And now look at this market, 10 months later?
Yeah.
You're right. They're up at $390. $390. So I'm driving your GT2 RS and saying, what do you do, Zuckerman? Do you get rid of this car now? You can make some money on it. What was the sticker on a GT2 RS? I forget. Low 300s?
About three.
I think out the door we were in the low threes when we paid tax.
This is
and
the white
license.
one, right?
Yeah. I don't know the answer to any of this.
But it's really a buy. There are two questions, I guess, I'm proposing to you. There's a market question, and then there's just the value of the GT2 RS to the Porsche community.
I really wish I did have a crystal ball. If I had a crystal ball, I'd be using it right now.
But what do you think? Take a guess.
If somebody came along and said, I'll give you $400,000 for that car, they can have it. They can just have it. And I love it. I don't know if in the long run I'm going to miss that car. It's a fantastic car. They're never going to make another car like that. But will I really miss that car?
Well, with the electric stuff just bearing down on us, isn't that significant all of a sudden? Doesn't this become like a 918?
I have so many cars. It's all right. I can let things go. I can cash out. I'm rebuilding a house in Malibu. Okay, I'm still building that house from the fire. I could, if somebody comes along, was that sad noise? Make a sad noise.
$400,000 would pay for the driveway.
Right. So
I know, but I understand, and I totally get it. But I'm starting to think the GT2 RS is a very significant car.
I think it is a very significant car. The thing is, at this current moment, and this is just a very subjective thing, I'm liking my old stuff. The more that the world is uncertain, the more that the world is a terrible place, which I think it is. The world's a horrible place and the planet is dying.
Put on your captain's hat.
Yes.
Except for Nicaragua.
Yes.
And India.
Jesus Christ. I mean, there's
UAE.
there's no good news. Inflation is going up.
This is the last stage before an old man dies.
Yes,
but they decry the world.
Get him the hat. Where's the hat?
It's all over.
Yeah.
Kids.
I'm happy. Listen, I'm driving my 67S, and I haven't had a chance to drive it really since Marco helped me with the transmission. With some rod or something else, he rebuilt the transmission. This car is so wonderful when it's 72 degrees outside. I am having such a great time in this car. I am so glad it's 54 years old. It is like, compared to anything today, it's like driving really a Budweiser can with an engine. It's so light. It's so charming.
I think with the GT2 RS, it's a bet right now. And here's the bet. We don't know, as we sit here today, if they are going to make a new one. They may. Make a 992.
They are.
You think they are?
I mean, they're going to make a huge horsepower 911 with a gas motor and a lot of turbos.
And that'll be the end of it.
I don't know what they call it, but they're going to there'll be something.
Something ridiculous.
Oh, that's
What-
exciting.
if I regret
Well, Zuckerman
something,
will do that.
yeah, we will do that. I wish I should have kept my 4.0. That's the car I should have kept.
Can I
I think that's more significant. Yeah, but no.
So Porsche did this thing a few months back in December. Jesus, it's almost a year. They brought out 996 GT3, the 4.0, the 997 GT2 RS, the 911R, and the
I remember the bit.
GT2 RS. Yes, okay. So all those, and I did 25 laps in each car. It was the most ridiculous, privileged day of my life. The 4.0 was the best, but a real close second place was the GT2 RS. I went in liking it the least. I was like, it's just too much power, but it really is. But you have to drive it like an absolute maniac.
Yes.
And you get warmed up at about 15 laps, But like, my God, it's such a great driving machine. It's so good. So, yeah, $400,000, sure, take it. On the other hand, like, wow, it is a wonderful, wonderful automobile.
Yeah, I mean, Zuckerman, I've taken a couple drives in it, and I've lost my mind.
All right, so question. I have a Speedster, and I have the GT2 RS. So I have the 991 Speedster, GT2 RS. Which one of those, if you had to keep one, or you'd keep the Speedster?
Speedster is just what an amazing. It's probably going to be the only convertible the GT division ever does. Again, for like living in California, it's the perfect Southern California car. The top is so good. It's a hardtop when the top is up. It's a beautiful convertible. It's a manual with that motor. Like, you got to keep that.
You're making a scowly, ugly face, Ferguson.
Yeah, you don't get rid of either one. You wait. Just sit and wait right now. When they have, he's handsy. We got to get him a mic stand. I have to turn him down.
He needs a diaper and a bib.
Yeah, I got it. Once I get him headphones, he'll understand what it sounds like.
If nobody looks, if any of our listeners don't know Jonny Lieberman,
he's pulling a cup next to it now. He's doing everything I asked him not to do.
He's like a creature from where the wild things
Just
are.
grip the microphone and stop doing this. When you do that,
in Yiddish they would call you sitting on spilkis. Do you know what that means?
Yes, I know what that means.
Yeah, spilkis, ants.
what is this little? Sorry, guys, for all this.
Now that's going to sound great.
What
How's
is
that
that though? Why is there an elastic?
It goes right here on the globe of the mic. You fucked up already, Ferguson.
All right, I'm going to turn my mic on.
You would attach like a foamy with it. It's like a thing. We need foamies. Those reduce spit.
I have foamies. They're called windscreens, and they're for outdoor use. This is very crisp. This is very nice.
If you see a broadcast studio, as you would know, because you
Listen
went
to
to
you
Berkeley
talking.
College of Music.
If you see a broadcast, you who've been in TV,
yeah, well then you know
for 30 years.
Do you have foam
And
on the
went
mic
to school
to
for
prevent
this.
spit noises? Yes, you do. You have spit screen.
have compression and other electronic things that are taking care of that.
You ever done VO? I
and
did
the
a lot of
rest
VO. You have a lot of stuff over the metal.
This is not VO.
If you knew anything about
is
broadcasting,
I know.
Radio broadcasting, Zuckerman. Radio.
Did 3 and done. I've done. Never mind. You know
just kill him. Do you have a gunshot sound?
Yes. It sounds beautiful. Just don't do that. I will get us stands.
Okay.
That is my mistake.
Okay.
And if such stand will give us a little distance windscreen, I might do that. But it's hard to set all this stuff up.
Yeah. It's the
You know what I
popping.
mean?
The popping.
That's going to be done electronically.
All right.
That's already fixed. Every plate, full plates. Fuller Wallets with America's best value meal kit. Every plate makes home cooking easy and affordable, and it's much cheaper alternative. Listen, the firemen are on their way to Every Plate. They love Every Plate. It's cheaper, much cheaper alternative to takeout, but just as delicious now when there's no groceries because of the supply chain. Every Plate has got your back. Think of it this way. One meal from Every Plate is the same as a cup of coffee. Let Every Plate plan, shop, deliver everything you need, delicious to your door. It comes in a box. You put it together in 30 minutes. They got the recipe. It's the whole deal. Definitely faster than a trip to the grocery store and starting a meal from scratch. And if, like I've said before, if you're like me and you have a lovely wife who is not cooking, who's more focused on her political stuff, when the Every Plate box comes and suddenly her interest is piqued, suddenly she was cooking meals left and right, and then asked me, and she didn't say this about the Blue Chew, she said, where did this come from? She said, you're not going to use that Blue Chew on me, sir.
You're stiff breezy.
But Every Plate she said, this is so cool. You have to say a lot of nice things about it. And she made these really tasty, like, sweet meatballs and things. Everything was great. Listen, Zuckerman, what the hell's going on out here? Every plate! Choose 17 recipes that change every week. Swap proteins and veggies. Every plate is 50% cheaper than a meal made from the grocery store ingredients. It's the perfect time to focus on saving money. Give yourself and your wallet a break. Enjoy delicious, affordable meals delivered to your door. That's right. It just comes to your door. A box of food, and it's awesome. What do you do? Hold on. I've done this. I've done that. Here's the offer. Try every plate for $1.99 per meal by going to everyplate.com, entering the code SPIKE911. Everyplate.com, enter the code SPIKE911. Get started with every plate for just $1.99 per meal by going to everyplate.com and entering the code SPIKE199. What did I say before? 911?
You said 911.
Oh, at SPIKE199. If you ever get into trouble with these things, you can DM me on Instagram, and I'll look them up, and I'll figure it out. Frequently, they're wrong, by the way, even when I read them. Right. They go, I tried it, it didn't work, man. I go, yeah, it's Spike199. Everyplate.com, Spike199. That's it. Check it out. That's up to $100 value. Boy, you're making money if you're listening to us today. Yeah. Let's see what we're doing on time here. We're 40 minutes in. We've got to do real insurance stories of Zuckerman, but before we do that, I wanted to ask you, either of you, about this, because I couldn't figure out this story that Porsche is doing. Porsche has been testing an innovative new product with 3D printed body form full bucket seats. Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
Seats have been tested with customers that have provided feedback to the sports manufacturer, allowing them to go into production. The customized seats are available as part of the new performance parts offering from Porsche Tech Equipment. Here's what I don't understand what they're offering here. Are they saying they'll 3D upload Zuckerman's body and make a seat that he'll be happy in a sports seat?
That's how I understand it, that you'll get a carbon fiber bucket that is tailored to your body to some extent, and I think you'll be dissatisfied.
100%. But why did you get it on
Ain't gonna
crash?
get right.
I don't think if you change the color of the airbag cover, you have to crash a car. So with the seat, that's a pretty big component of crash standards.
Then maybe it's just for off-road use. Is that different?
Here's what
Could
they
be
say.
track only, or real quick, could be Europe only. Could not be for the U.S., which is more common.
That could be. With 3 different rigidity grades, customers can choose the grade best suited to their need. Porsche says, I think that's a guy's name, the seats provide slightly lower seat position, improved thigh support similar to what you get in a race car. Seats also have integrated passive ventilation for Zuckerman's farts.
Wah, wah, wah.
We gotta get our own soundboard.
I gave myself one of those.
Oily.
What? Porsche, frat boys. Porsche also notes that compared to normal bucket seats, the new seat is 8% lighter.
Okay. I just want, at this point
Available
in my
for
life,
everything.
I want a comfortable seat. I just want a comfortable seat. And I impress that upon you. Speaking of the GT2
You're right. He's going to
RS,
die momentarily.
Yeah.
we always want.
I get a comfortable
Why is your
coffin
finger
for you?
hovering over that button, motherfucker? Don't squelch me. Okay, so I see what you're doing. I see you over there. Going to break your little fingers.
I don't know which button I'm going to press right now.
But I've impressed upon you that the comfortable seats, the 18-way seats, are a better option for us. Forget the carbon fiber buckets, which look better, but they're not better.
I like them. I like
them
buckets.
too.
I like the way they look, but I agree that they could be more comfortable. Some manufacturers have now made the back swivel a little bit so you can move it forward and back, and it's slightly adjustable, which does help with old man back pain. But
I think I'm at
a racing seat there's something about it that really makes
I know the seats look great in my 911R. They look great in the 4.0. I found them excruciating to be in. The 4.0 had a more comfortable seat than the later R.
But you have back issues.
Yes, I do.
So 'cause I love a hard bucket. I don't know.
You love a hard bucket.
I'm just pressing buttons.
He loves a hard bucket, Mr. Blue Chew.
But I don't know. I find them very comfy. Like the Senna, for as miserable a car as the McLaren Senna is, like you basically sit on cement.
Yeah,
and
that's a rough.
I like it. I like it. The suspension can go, jump off a cliff. But I
need some press. I haven't had press cars in a while. I don't know why.
You got to make calls.
I got to make some calls. Anyway, it's time for real insured stories from Zuckerman. Hold on. There's your theme music. There Everybody loves real insurance stories from Zuckerman. There's the audience applauding. Listen to that. Sponsored by Policy Genius, the antidote to Zuckerman's insurance stories. Go ahead, Zuckerman, take it away.
All right, so this guy, he owned a house over by Beverly, Alvarado area. Little house, little bungalow. And on the city property, what's called the Parkway, which is the little strip of dirt between the sidewalk and the curb, was the biggest ficus tree you've ever seen. It was enormous, and it grew over his house. And it was a female ficus tree, so it dropped that red berry shit all over his house all year long. I think his name was Romulo or something. And he went to the city and he complained about this tree soiling his house. He went for years, please do something about this tree. And they wouldn't do shit for this guy. So he decided that he'd get his brother-in-law. His brother-in-law was going to stand on the sidewalk, and Romulo was going to climb high up into the tree with a gas-powered chainsaw. The brother-in-law was supposed to yell "chickie" or something like that if someone was coming on the sidewalk. What they didn't anticipate was the power of the sound of the gas-powered chainsaw would prevent Romulo from hearing his brother-in-law yell up to him. So my guy comes along on a bicycle, and as he's coming down the street, the brother-in-law is trying to scream, "Hey, stop." Romulo couldn't hear it. Chickie.
Whatever
hey,
that means.
Jeez, it's the cops or whatever. And right at that moment, a giant branch came down and squashed my client.
Oh, no.
And
Keep going.
And then, so I made a claim against his insurance company, and they wrote back, "We're not paying your client. Your client shouldn't have been riding a bicycle on the sidewalk. What about climbing up in a tree unlicensed with a chainsaw and cutting large branches off?" And I loved Romulo. I sued him, but he was just so honest. He says, "Yeah, I did it. The city made me crazy. They would not fix this problem. I had to take it into my own hands. And I know I shouldn't have been up there with a chainsaw cutting trees." And eventually the insurance company saw the light of day and said, "Yes, probably the problem is us with the chainsaw, not your guy being on a bicycle on the sidewalk."
There's some applause for you, Zuckerman. That was Zuckerman's Real Insurance Stories, sponsored by Policy Genius.
Maltese name.
They make it easy for you to compare home and auto insurance, all in one place. They can help you find home and auto coverage similar to what you have now, but at a lower price. They've saved customers an average of $1,250 per year over what they were paying for home and auto insurance. They've saved new customers an average of $435 per year in auto insurance. They saved new customers an average of $350 per year on home insurance. So go to policygenius.com, answer a few quick questions about your property, about your car, about you, about Zuckerman. Don't forget to tell them on the survey, how did you hear about Policy Genius? Just
Zuckerman.
write one word: Zuckerman.
Did you see that, Zuckerman? He canceled us. He turned our mics off for that commercial.
It's great. Yeah, I know.
No,
when I'm
too
doing
much
an ad, I
power.
can just do this, and then I can finish the ad. Head to policygenius.com. That's right, policygenius.com. To get your home and auto insurance and protect yourself from chainsaws. There you go. Now you're up.
Yeah, your mic was off when you said all that.
No, it wasn't. No, I turned ours off, and when he was on, so he could just get his story out. It's good.
You're about 6 feet away from being a one-man band at this point. You need a kick drum and like
I know.
a squeeze box under your arm.
But I do, once I figure it out and get all the right gear, and then you guys don't have to hold the mics, and then you have headphones and you can hear what's going on. I don't know. Have you said you used to do radio though?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, whenever you're on a show like a Stern show and they're always playing sound effects, it's really distracting. So in some ways, it's probably better that you're not hearing them.
I want to know what sound effect you're doing. I want to know how you're fucking with me.
That's the same face that my kids make when I exert control over them. They're helpless. Zuckerman,
Yes.
I've never seen you look helpless before like that.
Helpless.
That was kind of charming.
He pays for that normally.
I want to see it. Well, we can all put our heads together and figure out, because we have, let's see, 9 times 3. We can
27?
do 27 of these things. And like I said, Jack, this is the first step where I know we're a little behind. We're going to record a bunch of Zuckermanisms. We're going to take some of our stuff out of context. And then we can have any other sound effect that comes up in the show. I mean,
It's great.
Think about that. A Leno thing. A Jerry beat. What's the deal with that? We can take those things and use them whenever we like, out of context. Music.
It's great. I think it's great.
You know, I just have to figure out how to upload it and then
I've been watching. I think you just did nothing but sad trombone the entire show.
That's our favorite.
I mean, it's
Cash register's my second favorite.
There you go. That little. Yeah, we need something better than the drum kick. That's really played out.
I like ka-ching.
Yeah, money one.
Money.
That's good. A Porsche accelerating, some sort of sound effect that way. I'll find some stuff. All right. This is good. You guys got me thinking.
We need a fart noise.
You think so?
What about a blue chew noise?
Blue chew noise is what we need.
What is a blue chew noise?
Well, it'll be like that, diving board sound.
Yes.
Or like a chewing.
Some ASMR, right? Yeah.
Yes, I don't like that stuff. You watch that
Some
stuff?
of it's pretty good.
Horrible.
Like
Really?
I hate it.
I'm with Zuckerman.
If you have been following my stories, that guy in Japan, Rolex_world, who takes a broken watch and in
like that
45 seconds, but he's doing ASMR.
No,
he does
it's no
the little
noise.
No, he does.
I watch it on mute.
He does the sounds. He does this.
That must be.
You don't like those? Because he really does it in a very pleasing way.
I just think Instagram stories are visually cool, but the noises are just awful. So I just always leave my phone on
Who wants
mute.
to listen to someone cutting a bar of soap?
No,
It's the
exactly.
stupidest thing I've ever.
Yeah, but Rolex World, Zuckerman,
That guy's great.
I'm getting a lot of feedback, and I'm like with these people, I watch it 10 times in a row, and sometimes I have to take myself out of it. It's so satisfying and pleasing. Not just the visual of the broken Submariner turned into something beautiful, but the sound of the bezel landing and the crispness and the turn.
Nah, it doesn't do anything. I'm with Paul. It doesn't do a single thing for me, that ASMR stuff.
Maybe this is a Jewish thing.
It could be a Jewish thing.
Hyperacusis. Jews hate sounds. It's true. But, the sounds.
I'm playing applause.
Sounds and goings.
Yeah, because when you guys make mouth noises or rattling ice, whistling. Do you know Jews don't whistle? You know why?
I whistle.
This is okay. Well, you should look it up. Why Jews don't like whistling?
Wait, what?
You know what whistling is?
What?
It's the sound of an empty head. That is what whistling is, according to, and it also will hearken the Dybbuk, the spirits.
Well, that's probably true. The second part.
The Dybbuk?
Yes, a Dybbuk is that's.
But I have heard that being very sensitive to sound is a sign of hyperintelligence. Like extremely smart people, they can't stand if they hear someone chewing.
Right,
Most
and
people,
then
it doesn't bother them.
And then the sufferer, would be me, mocks the tormentor.
Well, that's because cruelty and hyperintelligence often go hand in hand.
Yes.
Case in point.
But the whistling and the humming is the sound of an empty head. Don't do it.
I mean, I'm not good at whistling, but I like to whistle. I mean,
Go ahead, take us out with a whistle.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a great whistle.
That was the way to end the show. Just you. This is what it sounded like.
Trombone.
That's what that sounded like.
I mean, I'm smiling. It's hard to whistle while you smile.
We've talked a lot. Porsche Taycans. Talked about the Audi e-tron GT, which I hope to get from Audi as well.
e-tron GT.
We want to thank DraftKings, our new sponsor, Every Plate Policy Genius, and of course Blue Chew. And
our favorite.
favorite. DraftKings is everywhere, though. I mean, watching these baseball games, you know how they're putting a little ad on the mound now, which I don't know how I feel about. So
you should feel bad about that, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? To put it on the mound off to the little side.
Why do they have a little logo on the ball, a superimposed logo? When they throw the pitch, there's a little logo on there.
It's, right?
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, just leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to have to, always be pitch the product.
Yeah.
There's the great racetrack in Alabama, Miller. I think it's Miller. But anyways, it's a motorcycle track, and the guy made his fortune. His dad had like carnation powdered milk, right? So the only ad on the track is that. And then everyone was like, it looks weird not to have ads. So he got like gigantic metal spiders and shit like that made up just to shut them up. So you're driving in.
I like that.
Huge,
but the next, what we should do? We should have a new market for naming rights. I want to name people's children. I want to
Why?
purchase naming rights for your kid, and I bet people would let us name their children.
It's like an
100%
NFT.
Yes, like
But it's
okay,
a tangible.
I give you $1,000, I can name your kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Non-fungible.
Do you remember that
Really?
story?
Sure, someone would let you do that.
Oh, hundreds of people.
But why? What are you going to name
Because
it?
the point is this is how corrupt society's become with all of this naming and
Right,
money and
right.
and whatever. So what if I name your kid Kidney? Okay.
But first of all, there's
Kidney
probably
Stone.
I made a
I'm going to
kid.
give you $1,000. The birth certificate's going to say Kidney Ferriston.
I know someone named Stone. Kidney Stone. You could name her baby.
Kidney Stone.
Yeah, that would be good.
We want
the
naming
people-
rights, and we'll create a market. Bidding should name
An auction.
an auction. Yeah.
But do you remember that story? There was like 4 kids one weekend that turned out were named Sports Center. And it was one of those things where it's like the husband didn't want a kid, the wife wanted a kid, and then the wife said, "I'll let you name it whatever you want if we can just have a 5th child." And there was like 4 Sports Centers
Okay,
born one weekend.
clearly that's not true.
Apparently, it's true.
It's just 4 random people the same weekend name their kid Sports Center.
Yeah, look it up. Somebody with a phone, look it up.
I don't think it matters anymore.
It
I
does-
remember
I mean-
when Gwyneth Paltrow named her daughter,
Apple.
I guess, Apple. And it was so crazy in the moment. Now it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
I mean,
happens.
I have a text thread
Nice
with
name.
2 people that we just like horrible names we hear at the park.
Right.
Like, one day Bono was playing with Eno. I mean, it's just like the worst,
No, I know.
Raisin.
Please let me name your next kid. I'll name it Gristle.
Well, Gristle's
Gristle Lieberman.
Gristle
All
Lieberman's
of those, all of the Dylans. What was Mozart's first name? There's
Wolfgang.
Amadeus.
There's a lot of Wolfgangs, and the moms think if I give him a genius name,
Oh yeah.
he will be a genius. It's all it takes. You just have to give him the genius name.
There's an Adonis.
And they're minutes away from Wolfgang, clean up in aisle 3. Amadeus,
Right.
clean up the men's room in the 76
There's-
station. There's
Atlas
feces
is
on the
popular
floor.
right now.
There's an Adonis in one of my friends' kids'
Horrible.
class. Adonis. Hey,
Oh, there's
Adonis.
lots of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adonis.
It doesn't work. It's that one's not going to bear out.
What would that nickname be? Adenoid?
Addis.
Hey,
Adonis.
Adonis.
Probably Dawn.
Here's what I think. You want to get to something real? You name these kids when they're 17. You go, I've had enough. I've had 17 years now to understand who you are and what you will be to society. Before you turn 18, here's what I'm going to call you, right? You are moron, Ferriston. There you go. That's going to be your life. It's very clear to me. Or you are Amadeus. Go ahead. You are going to do well in the world. But the naming before we know who they are is a really bad idea.
But see, nobody named Amadeus has done well for 300 or 400 years. You know what I mean? Like if
Doesn't
you're
have a good track
Aristotle,
record these days.
If you're Aristotle, like you're 2 centuries out of or 2 millennium out of touch, right? You know, you need like Elon would be a good one, or
I just want,
Bill Gates.
Steve to become popular again. Steve,
He's
Robert,
a great
really
name.
basic names. Let's go back to basic names.
He's going to die.
That's all evidence that I'm
Put
dying.
on the captain's hat, Zuckerman.
Yeah, crabby old
It's
Zuckerman.
time to die. There you go. That's it. That's our show, folks.
I'm going to leave a letter for you
We got
to
a lot
open.
of applause. Jonny Lieberman on my right. Zuckerman, dead center.
Dead.
And I'm Spike Ferriston. We'll see you next week on Spike's Car Radio. That's right.
Let's start it. Goodbye, man.
Thanks for listening to Spike's Car Radio, brought to you by Hangar 56. Listen to new episodes every Wednesday, and be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.